Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to the Cleveland Browns training facility in Berea. This is your daily practice report as the Browns get ready for their Week 7 matchup against the Indianapolis Colts coming up on Sunday. Brendan Gulick with you, and we had a chance to hear from Kevin Stefanski, from T.C. McCartney, the tight ends coach, from Jason Tarver, the linebackers coach, from Myles Garrett, and certainly from David Njoku in the locker room after practice as well. Team practiced on the indoor field today because they're trying to assimilate as best they can to what they're expecting they're going to have when they get rolling on Sunday out in Indianapolis. So rather than practicing outside again today, they went inside and went onto the turf. In the meantime, why don't we start with a little note from Kevin Stefanski, because obviously the big question is, will Deshaun Watson play this week? And I think everybody's hopeful the answer to that question is yes. Deshaun practiced today. I'll share a couple of my thoughts from what I saw in just a moment. But in the meantime, when asked about it, here's what Coach Stefanski had to say at his press conference this afternoon.
Do you expect Watson to start Sunday at quarterback?
Yeah, I want to see how he responds over the next 48 hours, based on that full workload that he just got. But he looked good today.
So it's trending in that direction, fair to say?
Those are your words.
Would it be similar to what happened before the Baltimore game, where would he have to?
We won't work him out. Just want to see how he responds, how his body responds to, again, a full workload today.
Respond from yesterday, though?
Yes, yeah, again, making progress every day.
What is he wearing on his shoulder, Kevin? When he looked like some kind of device.
I don't know. That's the truth.
Did he take his normal reps that he would?
Yes.
How do you think he looked? I mean, the first 2 days we've seen him out of the field for practice last week. So how do you see him from a throwing perspective?
Yeah, I thought he looked good.
Do you have more velocity on his ball today?
I think every day when you're working through something, you continue to make progress every single day. Hard to answer that question when I'm staring at that hat. It's hard. I won't look next time.
He had a full day today. He was not limited.
Correct. Full day.
So who will be your backup on Sunday?
P.J. Walker's the backup.
Being able to throw the ball, we've seen him throw some 30-yard passes, but can he throw it farther than that if he has to?
Yeah.
Of course, the hat there that was referenced is it's not a football hat. It was an Arizona Diamondbacks hat, and the Philadelphia Phillies fan that Kevin Stefanski is, knowing where they're at in the NLCS, they get a hard time looking at the D-backs hat. So that was the wisecrack there. But look, all things considered, from what Kevin said after practice today when he talked to us, and with what I was able to see during the 15 minutes or so that we were allowed to observe the team, we basically get to watch stretching and then some drills at the beginning. There's no full team drills. It's just kind of like warm-ups at the beginning of the day. But I thought Deshaun looked like he was trying to let it rip a little bit more compared to what we saw from him outside yesterday. I don't want to pretend to know that he was feeling better, but I can tell you for sure, I thought I saw him put a little bit more velocity on some of the passes that he was working with receivers on. There were some high lofting throws that were going to say, good 30, 35 yards. They had a lot of goal line stuff where they were just working on running some routes as they were, working down toward the end zone. It was just one-on-one drill stuff. So nothing crazy, nothing high intensity, but I thought there were instances where the ball looked like it was coming out of his hand nicely. He did have his shoulder taped up, but I didn't think it was prohibiting him from actually throwing the ball. So as Kevin said, hopefully he continues to progress well over the next 48 hours and that he'd be able to play on Sunday. But Kevin would not go so far as to say that he is going to be the starting quarterback. I think he said, those are your words, not mine, to the reporter that asked him that question. So hopefully we're going to see Deshaun on Sunday. I think every Browns fan wants to see that be the case. Fingers crossed that he continues to progress well and that he can get out there and play for Cleveland. In the meantime, we also had a chance yesterday to hear from Jim Schwartz, and there is an awful lot of conversation these days about how high achieving this Browns defense is, but we did not have a chance to include this in yesterday's practice report, so I wanted to put it in today. Coach Schwartz, thrilled with the way things are going, but he's not taking home any trophies after week 5.
A couple of weeks ago, you talked about dealing with success. Defense is getting a lot of love nationally right now. How do you tamp it down and make sure?
Well, they don't give out any trophies for 5 weeks. I think we all know that. It's a long season, and we're going to have to survive a lot of highs and lows throughout the season We have some experienced players. We have some experienced coaches that have been there, that know that. And I think that's one of the things that, that keeps us grounded. So, let me know when the 5-week stats are part of the tiebreaker. When they are, we'll really concentrate on that. We're trying to be good each and every game, find a way to give ourselves a chance to win every Sunday and try to be consistent. Is the NFL, you're not always going to have a great performance every week, but we need to find a way to minimize our poor performances, minimize our poor plays, and accentuate our positives and keep our eyes on that, that destination. Sometimes you can react and overreact to short-term things. You can paddle the canoe too hard on one side and then you're adjusting and pretty soon you're just weaving and you're constantly trying to course correct instead of keeping your eye on that point in the distance and, sort of keeping yourself on the right course.
I love the intensity. I love the focus. And frankly, I also love that Jim Schwartz has kind of unlocked what feels like the true personality of this defense. He and Coach Tarver, who we'll hear from in just a second, the linebackers coach, specifically said, we are watching not just game film of what do you do between the lines, but we're watching on tape. What are the guys doing on the sideline? What are they doing when the plays are over? They are literally actively trying to coach this team to have a little more fun and to celebrate big plays because they want the emotional and mental investment and recognize that the game is hard and that things happen, but you got to celebrate when things go really well, and it's contagious. And I think that word was used a couple times, that it was contagious, which I thought was kind of cool. Frankly, you don't often hear a lot of coaches actually verbalize that, and I give Jim Schwartz a lot of credit because that seems to be something that is a bit more new since he came to Cleveland, and he's obviously got this team playing at a really high level. Speaking of Coach Tarver, look, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had a great second half last week. Their room has played really well this year so far. Obviously, a little bit banged up with Taki and Walker, both not at 100% health. But I did ask Coach Tarver earlier today about the depth of that room and how he feels that they're all the idea that a rising tide lifts all boats, if you will.
What do you like about the depth of the group?
Well, I think with Anthony and Sione, you're really seeing those are the lead three right now, but we're going to need everybody. That's how these seasons work. But what's great is they don't care. Like, they're all preparing to play any of the three positions. Not all of them play the Mike, so-called, that's the play caller yet, but they're all preparing to do that. And that's how we set the offseason, and we said we need to be, it doesn't matter, we're just linebackers, and we need to go. So I like that depth. And Sione and Anthony are working well off of each other, like say they because they're on punt team too, so they got to cover punts. So we'll rotate who's in there of those three. And then you'll see the other guys put in different situations, and that'll come as the season goes. But like the depth, like where we're going, and it's because they all want to know every position. They're all unselfish, and they're doing it for the linebackers, but most importantly for our defense and our team.
That's awesome perspective. Love to see that from Coach Tarver and his unit, and excited to see how these linebackers play with their hands full. They got two really good running backs this weekend in Moss and obviously in Taylor. Indianapolis, when they run the football well, they're very good. When they don't run the football well, they've really struggled. That is certainly something we're going to keep our eye on as we get ready for this game on Sunday afternoon. We'll wrap up just by telling you the official injury report that came out today. Kareem Hunt, Harrison Bryant, of course, Deshaun Watson and Greg Newsome are all listed as questionable, and Sione Taki is out. He will not play. Not listed on the injury report today was Anthony Walker, who had a concussion last week. So hopefully he is back and ready to go. The Browns would certainly love to see him out there on Sunday. Looking forward to the coverage coming up here this weekend, and we certainly hope you'll join us along the way. We've got plenty to discuss getting ready for the Browns in Week 7 in Indianapolis. We'll be on site at Lucas Oil Stadium to bring you all all the latest news and information around the team all weekend long. So hope you'll join us throughout the weekend. Again, brownsdigest.com, the best place for all your latest Browns news and information. And certainly would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can continue to do content for you just like this all season long. I'm Brendan Gulick reporting from Berea. We'll see you soon as the Browns get ready about 48 hours away from their Week 7 kickoff.